I'm not sure how heavy it is, but I think give you like a weight.
Hello, this week's video is a week in the life of a vintage booth owner, and we are starting the week out on Sunday. After church, I was stopping by Home Depot to pick up a few pieces and price a few items that I'm thinking about getting for future projects or just to help with, doing furniture in the future. And that was my husband, Angel, you saw right there, giving me his input and thoughts on some of the things I'm thinking about doing and projects I'm thinking about starting. Guys, I have been looking at one of these for a while, and I think I'm definitely here in the near future going to invest in one of these. And then it was Sunday, so what we do on Sundays is we go look for curbside treasures because trash day is Monday. And this is what we found. We found quite a bit of stuff, some really good stuff.
It is cold.
I was so excited.
Hopefully it's going to be the last cold of the year or the season. So we're supposed to start warming up through the summer. It's supposed to be like 44 degrees today, but then I have 44 degrees and I have a ton of errands to run. Oh my gosh, I'm so cold. So it's Monday. It's Monday and I have a market on Saturday. So it is going to be a very busy week, so I thought I'd bring you along with me. Let's see, I haven't done markets in so long because I originally started out doing markets and I did a few of them when my husband's schedule changed and I was no longer able to do markets because I don't have childcare on the weekends. And so that's one of the reasons I opened my vintage booth. The last market I did was October, and before that was July, like June or July. So I haven't done markets in quite a while. No, that's true. I did one in November. Anywho, yeah, a lot of practice, but I have a lot to do, and I'm really to get ready and go and get all the things for it. And I want to make sure my booth looks nice and fresh and ready for all the people that are going to be coming in this weekend. So we got a few stores we got to go to. Got to do some sourcing and get some stuff to finish up some projects. And what else? I got to go to the Red Barn to freshen up the booth for the week and make sure it's ready for Saturday. My lips are so cold, they feel frozen. So I've kind of loud. I have the truck going, but anywho, so I have a lot of stores to go to, a lot of errands to run today. I got to stop by the Red Barn and freshen it up. And what else? I got to go grocery shopping because we are down to nothing. So it was kind of a random story. I'm cleaning the fridge yesterday or the day before, and my toddler is helping me, and then we get it all clean, it's all nice and clean, ready for me to go grocery shopping, right? And he goes, "Mommy, you need to go to the store and get ingredients." Yeah, you need to get ingredients because it's clean now. It looks empty because I cleaned out the fridge. Now I need ingredients. So he laughed. I thought might make y'all laugh too. Anyway, yeah, we got to get going. I got the truck warming up. I'm gonna stop and get gas and head on out. I think our first stop is going to be Goodwill, so I'll see you when we get there, and let's.
All right, so this is Monday morning, and here we are at Goodwill. It wasn't the greatest thrift trip. I did find a few cute items. I don't think I remembered to do a little haul, so sorry about that next time, guys. But yeah, I found a few cute things, but nothing I was really head over heels in love with. But yeah, so that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes, you hit the jackpot and you find a ton of stuff, and other times it's just on what you find. But anyway, here I am browsing through, looking for some stuff. I wasn't planning on buying too much that day or sourcing too much. I really just wanted to add a few new pieces to the booth since I hadn't done anything like that in a few weeks. And I knew market was that weekend, so I really, like I said, I wanted to spruce the booth up and add a few new pieces to help attract customers into the booth. Anyway, so you're probably wondering why I'm talking about all this market. So every third Saturday between March and November, the Red Barn Market, where I have one of my booths, does a outdoor market. I've done a few of them in the past. However, I was not available on Saturdays for a long time to do them. So I have gone ahead, and now that I'm available on Saturdays, I'm going to be doing them. My plan is to do all of them this year. The only ones I might not do are the summer ones because I don't know if I want to be out there in the Oklahoma heat, but we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, like I said, every third Saturday of the month between March and November is the Red Barn Market's outdoor market, and it's from 9 to 4 p.m. And yeah, I will be there this year. You're going to see a lot more of me at markets. You're going to get a lot more market content. And even though I did not film, add that film content and blah, blah, blah. I filmed, but I did not add it to this video because this video was already long enough. I will be doing a separate video for like the day of the market and my first market of the year and all that stuff. So you'll be getting a little bit of that content. All right, so I originally had planned on talking like to the camera during this part. However, the music was too loud when I realized the music was too loud when I started editing. And so I'm just going to go ahead and talk through this. I did not get this little pillow. I thought it would be cute for like wedding season, but then I realized, I'm just going to skip on that. I don't know, I kind of regret this. This brought back such like nostalgic memories for me, like when as a kid and when we would go like on trips to like SeaWorld and stuff. But I just didn't think it would sell. And this next piece, if it hadn't been broken, I would have got it. It was so adorable. Like I would even love to have it in my house. But it was broken, so there's no good if it's broken. And don't worry, I set them on a shelf, but I did go ahead and put everything back in its proper place before I left. I did go ahead and get this little goose. He was just too adorable to pass up. I won't make a ton of money off of him, but he was too cute. I do apologize if you hear a lot of noise as I'm doing this voiceover. My son is in his tennis lesson, and so we are at a park, and it's a little noisy. I ended up leaving behind this little bunny. It was cute, but yeah. I got this record for my husband because my husband's trying to work on a record collection. Long story short, a lot of his records got damaged, so we are trying to replace them. I did go ahead and get this little flower frame wall art thing, whatever you want to call it. It was super cute, and it was on sale. Unfortunately, I did notice after I got it in the booth, it was a little chipped, but I think it's still very cute, and I think it will sell. It'll be a great Mother's Day gift for somebody looking for that. Anyway, let's go on. What did I get next? Or was that it? That might have been it. Okay, no. I got these little lights. So we do a lot of lamps. My husband used to be an electrician, so he helps me with a lot of the lamp projects. So I got those. They're like little lights. I don't know why I didn't show them to you guys. Sorry about that. But what else am I getting? Maybe that was it. What am I doing here? Oh. So this is a bookend. There was a couple of bookends. I ended up not getting this one because it was just like a plain kind of bookend. I don't think it was vintage, but it was very pretty. But I ended up putting that one back, and that was also on sale. But it would have been a good deal if I got it. I did go ahead and end up getting the next bookend that you'll see, and I did try to check it over like best I could to make sure there was no cracks or missing pieces. Unfortunately, the way it was wrapped, there was a few like chips and cracks and things like that, which I was a little disappointed. I do have it in my booth. I still think it's very adorable, and I hope someone will find it and love it and want to take it home, even with all the chips and everything. So yeah, basically what it is a Noah's Ark bookend. It is vintage from the 90s, and it is just...
So at the Red Barn, I got quite a big ado. I want to re-tag some stuff, maybe do some markdowns, rearrange a little bit, and then add the new items I brought in. So a lot to do. I sold a few items this week. I could tell that I sold a cookie jar, a vintage cookie jar, vintage doll, and a little rooster art situation, wall art situation. So far, at least that's what I've noticed so far. So that's pretty good. Yay! Happy about that. All right, let's go ahead and get going. Let's get into it.
All right, so here we go. Basically, this is me just moving things around, trying to make it look like it's a new, fresh booth. Like I said, I did not bring in a ton of things this day. I had a very small budget, but I definitely wanted to spruce it up as much as I can, make it look like it was a new booth. And that's what I'm doing here. Started with the wall art and then the furniture, and you'll see me here moving the dresser to the corner, and I ended up hating that look, and I moved the dresser kind of back more towards the other side. And really on this day, what did I bring in? I brought in the goose, I brought in that little wall flower art thing, I brought in the bookends, I think I brought in some more frames, and that might have been it. Like I said, I did not bring in a ton. I just added a few new items, and sometimes that's all you need to do is just add in a few new items to make it look like you've done more. And really, a lot of times, all you have to do is just move things around because like, and even me when I'm shopping, I'll go into a booth or I'll go in somewhere and there'll be things I didn't notice the last time I was in there, but since it got rearranged and moved around, I noticed it the second or third or maybe even the fourth or fifth time I've gone in. So to remember that, like when you're working on your booth, maybe you don't always have the ability to source things or the budget to source things, or you just have too many items to be bringing in more stuff. You can just move it around and make it look like you brought in new stuff, you know, and it'll give your customers a chance to see things they didn't see last time, because that's just how our human brain works. Is like we focus in on a few things or maybe one thing and we kind of miss the other things, and we kind of stick to what we're seeing at eye level. So just remember that when you're working on your booth. All right, so again, I apologize for all the background noise. This is really one of the only times I get to work on my voiceovers is while my son's in his tennis lessons, and it's at a park, so it gets very loud in here. So again, I apologize for that, but you know, it is what it is when you're a busy working mom, a busy small business owner, and a mom. You gotta find time to get things done, and while he's at tennis is when I can do my voiceovers or work on my YouTube videos. But anyway, here we are. Again, this is on Monday, and I am going through and giving everything a little TLC, adding the new items, going through marking down items, and all kinds of fun stuff, and rearranging everything so it looks fresh and new and ready for Saturday. And one thing I heard in another video, I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, but she was saying that if you do your markdowns in red pen, it creates a sense of urgency, and customers are more likely to like go ahead and buy the item then when they see it marked down like that. I don't know if there's any science behind it, but it seemed to have worked. I marked some stuff down. I marked a piece of furniture down, and it sold. Okay, all right, so it is about 3:30. I need to hustle my butt home. Actually, I need sanitizer first. Okay, I had to get something to eat at the grocery store, so I picked up a little short lunch, and the booth took about 3 hours. It probably wouldn't have taken as long, except for like I was doing a lot of stuff. I was retagging, moving some stuff around, adding new stuff, cleaning, tagging, all that stuff took forever. Plus, I had people like me about stuff I have on my Facebook. Plus, I had people like messaging me about stuff I have listed on Facebook. So I was like replying to those, and it just took quite a bit of time. So I had to go away to Rincon. I'm not going to make it to Hobby Lobby today. I'll see if I can order the Rub and Buff online. But good news, there's a girl supposed to be going in tomorrow to purchase 2 nightstands at Hot Mess Customs Boutique. All right, good morning. So I'm looking like a hot mess. I slept in a little later than I should have, and I spent the morning drinking my coffee and working on social media posts. So I am still in my pajamas. It is Tuesday morning, and I got some good news. I sold 2 nightstands at the Hot Mess Boutique. We had them priced at $51, but me and the customer agreed on $75 plus tax. I had them priced at $51 each, and we agreed on $75 plus tax for both. So she gave her a little bit of a discount, well, a little bit more than a discount, but I gave her a discount and made that sell. However, I need to get some furniture in there and situated. So I have a lot of furniture done, however, or almost done, but it's going to market, and I have that kind of planned out. So I think I'm just going to see if I can knock off some quick pieces today so I can take them in tomorrow or Thursday. So yeah, my plan for today is a little thrown off, but I think it'll be okay. And let's just see what we can get knocked out today, and hopefully this evening I can work on mystery bags for the market on Saturday, work on some other things. Yeah, and then I ordered some Rub and Buff from Amazon, thinking it was going to be here today. It was not going to be here next Tuesday. That's not going to work. So I need to get some Rub and Buff to finish the blue tables so I get done for market. So I will probably either, whenever I stop at the Hot Mess and get that all taken care of, I'll probably stop at a Hobby Lobby or Walmart or wherever I can find them to sell them and just pick those up. And then I'll just have extra Rub and Buff, or I'll return the ones that I ordered from Amazon. So I'm probably hearing my kids. Anyway. That was weird. Anywho, so I got a lot to do and a little time to do it, and this week it's not bad, it's just chaotic. I was gonna give my son a couple days off first break because we homeschool, and I wasn't gonna take a full week for spring break this time. I was gonna take probably May or June off, like a full month. But the way week is shaping up, I think we're gonna take the whole week off. He'll get spring break,
and then he'll probably still get May off, or like 3 weeks in May off, something like that, because we do whole school year round. So there's just certain like maybe a week here and there off, and then there's just certain chunks of the year. Like we took December and part of January off, like 6 weeks off. And during really hectic seasons of life, that just works out best for us. Like I'm not as stressed out, he's not as stressed out. And so I like to take it when the schools are in session, because then we get to like do things where they're not as crowded. So usually how we do it, but his sports are off this week. He has no tennis this week. So he's kind of on spring break in that way. And then you know what? I think we'll just we'll just go ahead and take the rest of spring this week off from school, because I have so much. I'm so busy with work, and then we'll get back on track for April, and then we'll probably end up taking like off the whole month of June, or maybe part of May or something off, because we'll definitely need a break by then. A full break, a big break. Yeah, let's get to it, because I got lots and lots to do. It's been a busy week.
All right, so we're outside. I'm gonna start with the coffee tables, and I'm planning, I think I'm just gonna spend all afternoon working on furniture, because like I got market coming up, and then I just need to like stuff that like in case I sell anything, if I sell anything in the Red Barn this weekend, I'm gonna make sure I have backup. So I'm just gonna knock it out, and then hopefully it won't be like, you know, rushing to get something done if I sell a piece of furniture. So anyway, let's go ahead and do it. I don't know how much I'm gonna get as far as filming, because so my child's screaming. I didn't charge my phone last night, so I gotta probably go to charge my phone. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so this was Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, I sold those 2 nightstands, and I needed furniture to replace it, because all the furniture I had been working on up until this point was planned for market. So I was like, let me just see what I can knock out, like I said earlier in the video. And I had 2 coffee tables that really just needed sanded and painted, and that's what I did. All right, so here we are. I did the legs a hot pink, or a darker pink, and then I got the top like just a light soft pink, and then I'm going to let it dry, do a second coat. And then I have these little like things. Excuse my porch, it is a mess. I haven't had time to clean it. So I'm gonna put one of these on it when it's all dry and done. Just haven't decided which one yet. So let's go ahead and move on to the next project.
Jungle Book. You like Jungle Book?
Yeah, I do like Jungle Book.
Okay.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
A tower Disney.
You haven't seen the Tower of Terror, you silly goose.
Mommy, what's a tower Disneyland?
You're silly. What's your favorite Disney movie? You like Luca? You like...
Mommy?
Yes.
Close to the rock.
Okay.
Mommy like Luca.
Luca?
Yes.
Like Little Mermaid.
Okay, Mommy, but paint on that side. But
What do we got? I got a lot of painting to do. A lot of projects
Mommy,
to do.
you need to do that side.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get all the spots so I don't miss them.
Okay, yeah.
In my video, stinky butts, is all I gotta say to you. So this is the second coffee table. So this is the one I ended up taking to the Red Barn and putting in that Friday. And then the pink coffee table, I actually ended up taking that to market. So the next day I would get a text from the manager at the Red Barn letting me know that I sold a piece of furniture. So then I was like, I need more furniture. So I ended up, so basically what I ended up doing to replace the furniture that I sold at the Hot Mess was finish up a dresser real quick. So that's why I'm working on this. This is Thursday, and I am working on this dresser right here. It took maybe 12, like not even 12 hours to get this done, and I took this dresser into the Hot Mess to replace the 2 nightstands that sold, and then I ended up taking the green coffee table into the Red Barn to replace the little side table that sold, and then the pink coffee table I used at market that Saturday. And when the market was over, because I'm already at the Red Barn, I went ahead and did add it to the booth at the Red Barn, along with a little wall shelf that we made the week before. So yeah, a lot of furniture projects done in like a 48-hour span. But that's great, because I replaced the pieces of furniture that sold, and I had all the furniture ready for market. And currently this week I am getting more furniture done. I want to have working on as much furniture as possible between now and like early June. That way I don't have to do any furniture projects over the summer because I don't have a garage and it is way too hot here in Oklahoma to be doing outside projects over the summer. Anyway, so this is Thursday morning before I went in to the Hot Mess Customs Boutique, and I am prepping the mystery bags for the market on Saturday. I did mystery bags in the past. I had put a few in my booth and I sold maybe a few of them. They weren't a big hit. They weren't that great. However, at the market they did really well, and I think this is going to be like a market exclusive. I don't think I'm going to put the mystery bags in my booth, but I think I will definitely be taking them to markets. Anyway, so I did not film when I went to Hot Mess Customs Boutique. This is just how the booth looks after I added the new dresser and fluffed up the booth for the weekend. So I am at the Heart and Hand thrift store. I'm sorry I did not film when I was bringing the dresser on. I just was like, I want to get this done over with. I completely forgot. Plus, it was also kind of busy, so I didn't really want to be filming in there with all the customers and everything. Anyway, I showed you a little bit at the end what it looked like. Everything looks very cute. Yeah, so it's in there. I figured I'm in there. I'm going to go ahead and do some sourcing, get a couple things I want to add for market. What else? I really wish I could come up here tomorrow because tomorrow they're doing their 99-cent clothing sale. However, I can't. I'm not making it tomorrow. I'm going to go to the Red Barn tomorrow to bring in more furniture because I sold like 2 pieces of furniture this week. My sales at Hot Mess have been like super good. It's just been busy markets this weekend. Life feels crazy, hectic. It's very chaotic. Good chaotic. Sales is a good thing. Even it means you got to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. I will take the sales over no sales any day. Let's go and get in here. I don't want to be here too long because again, I got tons of stuff I got to do at home. I miss my boys. Let's go. Y'all, this is a book that I need. Yeah, I don't know. Is anybody else struggling out there with housework and keeping up with everything? I don't know how our grandmas did it because I'm always behind on housework. Anyway, so far this is what I had at that point. I think everything here I did go ahead and end up picking up. And so if you've never been to the Heart and Hand thrift store in Bethany, Oklahoma, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite thrift stores, and all of the proceeds go to help women and children in need. It is ran by a church. And then here is this amazing plus size haul. I will talk about that later in the video, but I found these amazing dresses. I was so excited. And one thing I love about the Heart and Hand too is for $5 you can get a giant grocery store bag of books, and I absolutely love that. For one, I can fill my booth up with books, which I love to use for decorating, and they sell pretty well for me. Sometimes they sell. All right, I was scared of that. I didn't film my time in there just because I wanted to get out of there. I still felt like I was there like a good hour, which felt like forever. Anyway, I got some great stuff. I got the frames that I needed for my signs. Found some vintage clothes. Actually, I found plus size vintage dresses. It's not impossible to find plus size. It's not super easy. I was super excited I found those. I found a couple other things that wasn't on my list. I need them, and then I found a ton of books. Ton of books. Really excited about that. It was supposed to be like $50. That girl hooked me up. She gave me like a big discount. It was only $31. Praise God. God is good. Thank her. She was a blessing. I'm so grateful for it because I was going to put some stuff back. It's like, it's on the budget today. Yeah, she hooked me up. Yay. So let's go ahead and go home. I'm going to eat lunch, spend some time with my boys before I move on to the next work task. All right, so here is what I got at the Heart and Hand thrift store. I got this little doll. I got this little piggy bank. Some of this stuff went into mystery bags. Some of it was just sold at the market, and some of it went into the booth, and some of it is going to be saved for like seasonal booth resets and things like that. And here is this little hen. They had quite a few. All right, y'all, it's Friday morning. It's the day before the market. I'm off to the Red Barn to replace a piece of furniture that sold, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to go replace that. Then go to Hobby Lobby. My husband wants to stop at this grocery store, so I'll stop at the grocery store. And I got lots to do with finish up for the market tomorrow. It's a busy day, but I'll take you along. This will probably be the last of the video. My whole market stuff will be a whole separate video. Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. It's going to be busy day, but I'm excited. Looking forward to it. All right, here I am at the Red Barn adding in the new piece of furniture and the few things I brought the day before. I wasn't in here too long on this day. I think maybe like an hour and a half, not very long. And since I was there on Monday, I had already done a lot of stuff as far as like refreshing the booth and doing markdowns and things like that was already done. I just needed to set up this little vignette area and make sure everything was ready to go for Saturday. So yeah, wasn't in there very long. Anyways, if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching and everything. If you're new to my channel, I do DIYs, vintage, small business content, and thrifting. So if you like that kind of content, definitely like and subscribe. And then after I was done with the Red Barn, I stopped by Hobby Lobby to get some Rub and Buff, and I always got to check out the clearance. And then I'm going to give a little bit of a testimony here in the next. So I just left Hobby Lobby. I got the Rub and Buff and the little knob that was on clearance. But before I went in, y'all, I was listening to worship music while I was setting up the booth. And I got emotional just thinking, like, it's so good. My God is so good, because you know what? Think back to like my really darkest time in life. Like, I did not grow up in a Christian home, and my life was very emotion led, and I still struggle with mental health issues and things, and alcohol and drugs and, you know, hookup relationships, just ugly things. And how far I've come, like, from that dark place in my life, and like Jesus saved me from that. Jesus did. And it's very hard not to get too emotional about it, but I was just thinking about that, and I started crying, and so happy he saved me. And, you know, my husband and I met, and if I hadn't met my husband, I would not have gotten saved. And so happy. And even though life is not perfect, far from perfect, I got a truck that is barely running, that any day is going to give up the ghost. And my truck is barely running. Sometimes the bills are hard to like meet, but we're still going, we're still trying. And, you know, I'm in the early stages of my business, so I feel like anybody who runs a business knows you don't really make a lot of money the first few years. You're just breaking even. So money's tight. You know, nowadays you gotta take out a bank loan to buy groceries, and utilities are crazy, and life is tough, life is hard, and I still struggle with mental health issues and things like that. And I know this has nothing to do with running a vintage booth or anything like that, but I just wanted to share, like, God is good. I serve a good God, and got me out of like one of the worst times in my life, times I was thinking about ending it all, and really ugly times where I was using drugs, and not even so much like drugs, but like alcohol and partying and hookups to like things and numb the pain. And he took me away from that, and he gave me a beautiful family and a beautiful life. And while it's not perfect, he saved me. And sometimes I just get emotional thinking about that how God has saved me and brought me here to this wonderful life. And he's here. And now, even no matter what I'm going through, even the worry and anxiety and the stress life brings, I know he's got me. So before I get too emotional, start crying on here, I just wanted to share that, like, you know, God is good. God loves you. And no matter where you're at in this world or what is going on in your life, he can save you. So if you don't know Jesus, you need to get to know Jesus, because my life went 1,000 times better once I knew the Lord. So anyway, I'm gonna go rambling, and I'll see you back at the house when I start work again. So yeah, that was my little testimony, kind of random. I know it has nothing to do with like running a vintage booth, but I just felt compelled to tell it. Anyway, so this was Friday afternoon. I had basically had everything tagged, packed, and ready to go for market, and this is pretty much all the stuff I had to load up in the truck, minus the furniture that was sitting outside of the side of the house. So I think this is the end of the video. Like, this week has been so crazy hectic. I knew it was going to be a busy week. It's like prepping for market, especially the first market of the year, is always busy. But I wasn't expecting to sell, like, in both booths. So then I had to, like, get stuff ready to go and replace it. And finishing up the furniture that I was taking to market, that I'm taking to market. And then just prep work, making sure everything is like ready to go. I think I have almost everything tagged. There might have been a few things I missed and need to tag once I get there, but I think that's all packed. My inventory is all packed. My furniture is all packed and ready. Well, kind of like it's on the side of the house, but anyways, I think I'm almost ready to go. And then when my husband gets home from work tomorrow morning, I will load up the truck and go. I need to be there like at 7 a.m. if not earlier if I can, and then the market starts at 9. So I think all I have to do is like cook lunch for tomorrow. I know there's gonna be a food truck there, but I'm not trying to like extra money that I don't have to be spending. So sometimes if it's something I really like, I'll go ahead and get something from the food truck, but I usually try to pack a lunch. So I'm gonna pack a lunch, and I have all my stuff ready to go, I think, or almost everything ready to go, and I just gotta load up in the truck when my husband gets home. Yeah, I got cash today at the Winco, so I got cash for the market. Yeah, I'm nervous, guys. I think I'm nervous because I only got to do like maybe 7 markets last year, and I don't know. So I hadn't done a market since like a big market like this since October, a bigger, not like big, but, and then I did a small one in November. But it's getting closer, and I'm starting to get nervous and hope I didn't forget anything. But I think I have everything. I have like scissors, a screwdriver, tape, tags, pin, measuring tape, like what I might need in case, like some random tools packed, tags, pin, my inventory, not bringing a table because I'm going to be using like step, like I'm trying to make it look like little vignettes, so I'm not bringing a table or tablecloth or anything like that, but I think I was already ready. So yeah, basically that was my week. You saw that I went and reset the booth. Okay, baby, thank you, good job. Don't touch that chair. Nice, see what you're doing, don't touch that chair. My toddler is helping clean, but so I do it this week. I went to the booth, like I went to my run twice, and I went to Hot Mess, and I fluffed those up and refreshed those up, brought in new inventory. I went sourcing twice this week, did a lot of furniture projects, packed for market, planned for market. Yeah,
on top.
a lot of stuff. So y'all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of, like, comment, and subscribe. You know the whole deal. Yes, but good job. Know the whole deal, and I appreciate you guys watching and enjoying this video and all that jazz. Thank you so much, and bless you and take care.